Hello, I'm Ben. Welcome to Tasty Classics. This is an oily rag. This is a 1967 Triumph Vitesse 2 litre 6-cylinder. And by the end of this video, I'm going to introduce these things to each other and try my best to get this thing back on the road for the first time in 40 years. That's a long time. And for the first time ever on this channel, I've signed a $6 trillion deal with Rimmer Brothers, who are going to supply me, hopefully, all of the parts I need, apart from possibly tyres and stuff, to get this car back on the road. Rimmer Brothers are the sort of British car parts people. They supply British car parts all over the world, and they're very, very good at it. I've used them before in several of my videos because I like doing British cars, and they're really good. So in this video, we're going to take a trip out, probably in the Land Rover, and we're going to go and see their big facility, and they're going to give us a little tour around it, and hopefully give me a box full of bits to make this go brum. So what's the story with this frankly quite weird looking car? Well, do you remember this car? That one, unfortunately, I couldn't get going because the engine had turned into one solid block of rust and metal. So I sold it to some breakers, right? And when I got there, they went, "Ben, have I got something for you?" I was like, cool. I hope it's not another venereal disease. It had been brought in for scrap. It was rescued from someone's garage quite a long time ago. It had been in that garage, I can't quite believe this, but for 40 years. It hadn't been on the road for 40 years. And you can kind of tell, I mean, that it was sort of garaged in that time. It's not completely falling to pieces. I mean, the stuff is still there. There's only sort of minor holes. If this was sat outside for 40 years without moving, it would be a non-existent dust cloud, you know? But this is actually all right on sort of first appearances, first glances. You know, it's like up here, there's no sort of major big holes in anything. So it's like, you know, and this paint would probably come up with a bit of a buff. So it's like there can't have been much rain falling on it or stuff falling on it. There's a bit of a tuck down here, but again, yeah, sort of could be worse, could be worse. I love these old sort of period stickers and stuff as well. What is Volvo Penta? Does anybody know what that is? Is that who made this engine? Did we put sort of Volvo engines in cars back then? I mean, I know we do it now, but did we do it back then? What is that? Let me know. I'm too young. I was born 20 years after this car. This car it was probably already laid up. 84, it was laid up 3 years before I was born. So for my entire life, this car has just been sat in a garage. For my entire life. That's crazy to think, isn't it really? Because I've done loads of stuff. I've been well busy. Well, this has just been sitting there. It's the 2 litre straight 6, which was a bit of a thing at the time. Triumph, yeah, great. Big hole there. Can't get this thing open. So I wonder what's in there. Hopefully nothing too scary. Look at all the chrome work in that though. I mean, it's all right, isn't it? It's not bad. It's not bad. Oh, look how shiny and nice that is. Again, round here, just a minor tuck there. And all nice up there. Really good, really strong. And again, only little bits down there. Nothing too bad at all. Tube 80, tube 820. No idea what that means. Is this door even open? That's a negative, 10.4. I've got all the hubcaps, which is a great start. And the sills and the doors and everything, I mean, from up here, don't look too crazy. I mean, yeah, potentially bit of MOT in a can, and you'd get away with that, wouldn't you? These, I'm pretty sure, aren't standard. They're sort of add-ons. It's got a few little add-ons, this car, that even I know aren't standard. Like this, pretty awesome front splitter, which is, I mean, it's seen better days, but it looks really cool. If this car goes okay, I might have a go at repairing that and making it nice, because it is pretty cool. I like it. Love the styling of this thing. It's really weird, isn't it? What a great looking car. It's pretty awesome. I like it. I like Triumphs. I did a Triumph Spitfire recently, a full resto on that. And I do like them. They're pretty good. One thing I like about them is the way the engine becomes incredibly accessible when you pull this cover down. So Triumphs usually rot like hell on these bonnets and like under here, and it's usually really bad. This one though, I mean, it's all pretty solid. It's just got a load of flaking stuff on it, hasn't it? Same in here. I mean, look, it's all just flaky stuff. It's going to benefit from a real serious jet wash, but I mean, nothing's gone through, has it? I mean, these all look very sad. They're all probably going to want replacing. But it all looks complete, doesn't it? Original couple of SUs. That one was slightly open. That's annoying, weird. Are they SUs? Don't know what they are. Don't think they are. I don't know. I'd have to have a look. On this side, there is a hydraulic wheel cylinder, which is potentially the least of our worries. Cables for the battery, all looks okay. There's oil and stuff all over this side, and it's missing all of its spark plugs, which is weird. I'm sure the engine turns over. I did try it, I think. I'm pretty sure. Let me just... I did put my hand down there and try and turn it over. And I'm sure it did go round. Yeah, kind of moves. So, providing that's still attached, I think the engine might be free. Interior-wise, I mean, again, it's really nice. I mean, look at the sort of... Look at that back seat. It's barely been sat in. It's a really nice, you know, all the veneer is flaking off the wood, but I mean, what you'd probably do with this is just peel it all off and then varnish it, because the wood is in excellent condition. It just wants a little bit of a light sand and a bit of a steady varnish. It looked really nice. Look at these seats, man. They're just so nice. It smells of real sort of... It smells of time and damp in here. Really does. What mileage are we on? 75,000? Okay. So it was a busy little Triumph back in the day. 75,000. Wheel looks good. Everything. Doesn't look like it's been messed about with, you know. Nothing's been pulled apart, which is what I like. Looks fairly original. Carpets and everything. I don't know how well they're going to clean up. There's some bits down there. What have we got? Spare mirrors. Yeah, it doesn't look important. All the pedals are up, but probably none of it works. So I'm going to try that door handle from the inside. Don't know how well you can see all these sort of cobwebs here as well, but there is quite a few all over this car. Oh, yes, door handle, come on. Wow. Yeah, carpet looks really nice there. This looks... Oh, big spider. It's only a light one, that though, only a thin one. Don't think the thin ones can hurt you too much. But yeah, look at all the door jambs and everything. That one's missing its pin. Bit crusty this bit, but this is just where the sort of sill's folded over the door frame. Spitfire Vitesse Auto Book. This is probably going to come in very, very handy. Give us timing and stuff. Oh, that's the carbs. Oh, it's a Stromberg. Stromberg, as was the fashion at the time. Yeah, okay, you can see it all. Nice. Does look like it works in a very similar way to an SU though, with a damper and stuff and some oil. Nice, okay. A couple of floats, a couple of floaters. That's going to come in very handy. This Pocket Road Atlas of Great Britain, probably not so much, but I'll keep it anyway, you know. Oh, wow, look at this. The original Triumph Vitesse Owner's Handbook. Oh, wow. If we need to know anything, this is the place to look, isn't it? Oh my God. So good, so good. A couple of very handy bits of literature there. Something's fallen down there, some lights and stuff. That's all okay though. Something's pulled out of there. Ah, there's the door pin. That would go in there. Oh no, it's not, it's a bolt for something, it's a screw. Oh well. Well, I was hoping to find 6 spark plugs in there, but there isn't. Oh, look at that. That's really nice. Might put that in the office if it still works. It's mint. It's absolutely mint. Wire that up and have it on desk. 1980 tax disc. Oh, it's got a temperature thing. Fahrenheit temperature thermometer. Magnetic one. Incredible. 8-track stereo player, sort of manual. Very, very nice. And some bulbs and stuff. Very cool. What have we got in there? Nothing. I'm desperate to sort of try and find out what's in this boot because it might be full of the spares that I need. Regular sort of viewers of the channel may notice that I'm inside. Usually I'm outside when I do these things, but it's promising to sort of hammer it down in the next couple of days. So I'm thinking maybe just a bit of a change of scenery. You know, I just fancy being inside for once because I cleaned the floor the other day, so it's a good opportunity. So it's a little square job. I need a bigger screwdriver. This one's going to be too big, isn't it, surely? This is all I've got that might fit. I can't continue without getting in this boot. What if it's like what if there's a dead body in there or something? What? How? Where is the? What's the catch? What's the catch? This could be a little bit of a problem. It's not working. When I turn the thing's not, just doesn't feel like it's attached to anything. The latch, you know. Like I'm turning it, but. Oh, just force it. Force it works. Oh, yes. Spurs. Come on. Why? What was that all about then? So yeah, it was just a latch, just a bit rusty. That's fine. That's okay. Maybe that's in here somewhere. Right. Amazing. I mean, how good. First thing I notice is we do have 2 of these. So that's what I need to open the boot, I think. Try and work out how they're attached. Is that what goes on the back of your bike? Stop your bum getting all mud up it, maybe? Look at these. Hubcaps. A bit of a stub axle there. Oh, nice. Bumper, some other bits. Can you see 6 spark plugs anywhere by any chance? No? Okay. Just a few little spares. Let me just empty all this out onto the floor there and we'll have a look. I mean, this has got to be pretty hazardous for my health, surely. I'll put this straight in the bin. Oh. Fuck, I got a real whiff of cholera off that. Whew. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Look at this in here, though. I mean, it's solid. It's absolutely solid. I've seen so many Triumphs in my life. And they're usually full of fiberglass and just completely battered. But this, I mean, it's fine. You know, it's just, I'm so amazed with the condition of that. This has got to be worth saving, surely. It's like I'm laying out an auto jumble stall, isn't it? How much will you give me for all this rusty crap, look? Although saying that, there is brand new Acdelco air filter, I think. Oh, so nice. Wow, or is that an oil filter? I don't know, it's got to be an air filter. Oh, it's an oil filter, wow. A new fan belt that isn't very new anymore. Look at these machineries of death. I use those to throw at people. Nice. Yeah, I don't know if any of this is going to be useful, but it's nice to have. Over the last sort of few years of doing this, I have amassed quite a large amount of auto jumbly stuff. And don't forget, I'm going to be at Rustival on the 28th of September. So get your tickets, come down to see that. I'm going to have the Tasty truck there. It's going to be full of cool merchandise like hats and t-shirts and stuff. But also, I might bring loads of auto jumble down. I've got stuff like an immaculate set of P4 hubcaps. Got 4 of them. Really nice off my P4 that I'm not going to use. And yeah, I've got like almost an entire Z-Tech down here as well, which again, I'm not going to use unless the engine's knackered in that. No, don't get ahead of yourself. No, crazy. Yeah, right, Triumph. The only sort of slightly annoying thing about working on these is camera angles wise, you're a bit limited. Because there's a big wall there, wall of metal. But should we have a look at what liquids we've got, if any? What's in here? This is the clutch, this one. That's completely stuck. As is the brakes. Okay, I'll get my gloves on and hopefully be twice as strong with them on. Wowee. Smells like paraffin. Not a lot else in this car. That doesn't look too bad under there. Still a bit wet. Quite a few things disconnected there, which is always a slight worry, isn't it? Oh great, is that the starter motor that's disconnected? Oh, I think it is. Right. What's in these? A little bit of oil. And another little bit of oil. Looks like honey as well. Perfect. There's not going to be any water in this, is there? Surely. It doesn't matter though, because I can't get the cap off. It's rusted solid, and every time I try and turn it, it's digging the rust into my hand, and I've had 9 tetanus so far this year, and we're only in July. I don't think the NHS is going to give me any more for free anyway, you know. What about this distributor? Yeah, there's absolutely no fluid in that whatsoever. And everything looks very, very worn and used and sad. Bare wires and stuff, and looks like it did quite a few miles. This is my guess. Did quite a few miles. Sort of 75,000, which is a lot for a car back in the day. Did quite a few miles, and then just sort of probably didn't get service for a very long time. Started to run like a bag of crap, and then got parked up. Which is, yeah, not ideal. Interested to know why the spark plugs are out a bit as well. I think what we should do is put a battery on it and see if the engine turns over, which I don't think it's going to off the starter motor because quite a lot of it isn't connected. Yeah, you can see just all a bit, you know, old and worn and used and in there. Not really the best. Might be nice to pull these off as well and just have a little butcher's down there. But yes, so I can see, that's the sort of arse end of the starter motor there. And that is the big power wire which goes to the starter motor, and it looks like it should connect there. She's a really big battery. She'll start your car if you don't believe me. Will the things reach though? I don't know if this has got any charge in it either. Probably hasn't. Batteries are expensive, you know. Okay, I think something is happening. There is a key over here in this slot. And absolutely no lights at all. Interesting. Okay, does anything work? What does all this do? Oh! The screen wash is a little, it's a pumpy one, and it just worked. Look at that. That's insane. That's still got liquid in there from, oh, shit, that's mental. Granted, it's probably just the last little bit in the pipe, but whatever. How good. So we have absolutely no electricals. Nothing is working at all, which is great, isn't it? Just my bloody luck. Nothing happening, can't see any lights. Yeah, something is not connected. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave those lights out, so if we do connect something up, it'll be drawing a current, and as we connect it, it'll go bzz, and then I'll know maybe that's the right thing to connect. Like, for example, this stuff here. Whoa! See, something happened. Why is that just... Should that be earthed like that? I don't think it should just be lying there on the side of the car. This is all very weird, isn't it? Is that trying to turn over? Not doing anything now. What about over here? Sometimes they have little kill switches and things just to... So is that... Right, so that is just the positive direct lead from the battery, and that goes straight to the starter motor. So there should be one of these which connects to the car loom like that. And can you see down there? Can you see the lights? Fixed this in real time. I'm not even going to edit that. Right, so it looks to me like all of that needs to be connected together maybe. And there's a starter switch. One of those is like a starter switch or something. Yeah. I am a mechanic. At least that's what my mum says. I've just opened this box while I was looking, just in case. I thought maybe the starter solenoid's going to be in here. But all the spark plugs are in there, 6 plugs, which is amazing. However, they're all a bit grim. I mean, they'll probably clean up, but I'm going to get a new set anyway. So these are for the starter solenoid. It would usually screw in to those holes there. See those 2 holes? That's where the starter solenoid would usually be mounted. And then they would all plug in, which is great, but I ain't got one. Rimmers do though. And as they are sponsoring this video, thank you again, Rimmers, very kind of you. We will pick one up when we visit them early next week. Until then though, the only thing I can really sort of do or want to do before I drive the 3 hours to go and see Rimmers and pick up loads of bits for this Triumph is I want to give it a compression test. Now to do that, I can try and jump the starter motor and see if we can spin it over quick enough to be able to do that compression test. And if I've got compression and the starter motor works, you know, we're halfway there, aren't we? Come on. Amazing. Look, if the engine wasn't so free with my hand and stuff, then I probably would have poured some stuff down the bores and things, but I could turn it over with my hand, and I think someone has been here before and sprayed a load of oil and stuff down it or around it, because there's oil and stuff all over there. So that sounds really good, and it's going to be enough for me to do a compression test. So let's get the meter, see what she reads. keep your fingers crossed that it's all roughly the same, you know. This is my engine. That's the fan. Cylinders 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to connect this gadget up to them, spin it over, and write down here what numbers we see. Okay, contestant number 1, what's your name and where'd you come from? Okay, that's a great start. Not a drop of compression, what's going on? Oh dear, oh dear. Okay, contestant number 2, please. Wow. Zero, 25. How's your day going? Mine's going pretty good. I mean, I'm just having a great time, just doing a compression test on the car which hasn't got any compression. Contestant number 3. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure these are supposed to have more than 25. Right, I've halted that test for a second because we're going to use this device to try and see what's going on. This is a endoscope, borescope. This is the sort of thing that you might use if you've gone to hospital. Look at that cylinder though, I can see all the cross hatching on that. It's beautiful. Looks like new. What's the problem? How well can you see that there? Maybe if I turn it slightly like that, you can sort of see them a little bit better. Can I hang this? Will that work? Hopefully that's a bit of a better view. I mean, I can't see anything now, but hopefully you can. So what have we got? We've got some sort of piston there. How do I angle this a bit more that way? Cylinder looks sound, doesn't it? All those scratches and lines you can see, that's what it should look like. They're little cross hatches which it uses to sort of keep oil in the right place when it's running. I can't see the other side of the piston though. It's difficult to angle the camera into. It doesn't look amazing, but it's only sort of stuff on the top, you know, you can't really see any more than that. Plus gas, fast release. Potentially, if the rings are stuck, we might sort of... I said potentially if the rings are stuck, we might sort of see like that, bring them back to life or something. I don't know, but I'm going to try and turn it over again with a compression tester in with that oil in, and we'll see if we've got compression. Shall I just film everything like this? I put a lot of juice down all of these and only one of them really spat it out again, which means it probably all leaked past all the others quite quickly. Unless we've got a head gasket issue or something like that, but again, who knows? It's a bit of a tricky one this, isn't it? So the most I'm getting out of these is 25 psi, and only 2 of them really spat the stuff out again. I can whip the rocker cover off quickly and just see if we can see all the valves moving, because we might have a valve that's permanently stuck open or something, which would be a very, you know, sort of easy thing. Everything looks pretty normal and in quite good condition. This one seems to have fallen out of its thing though, which might be the sign of a stuck valve. So let's give it a little turn over and we'll see if we can see things doing what they're supposed to do. So let's start over here. So that one's not moving. So So it's only this one that isn't moving. So we can put that back in there and that might solve that problem, but it still doesn't explain the fact there's no compression in the others. Great. Another good way to sort of tell if you've got compression is by using this part of your anatomy. And if you put it over the hole, you've got to be confident, though, we're probably wearing gloves. So can you hear that? That's it's pushing back on my thumb, and it feels like loads of compression. So what about the one next to it? Is that the one next to it? Yes. It's high. Almost like it came back to life. Do you remember when we did this on the Panhard years ago? Oh. Watch out for the rotor arm. I probably should have taken that out. Just blown it to pieces and probably carved a hole in my hand. Oh, we'll worry about that later on. The glove will stop it bleeding. That's fine. So yeah, watch out for the distributor when you're doing that as well. I'm scared to put my hand in there now for some reason. Come on. Oh, come on. It's going to set on fire. That was starting to do something maybe. What about my other finger? Can I get that in there? Come on, all we ask for is a bit of compression. Oh! Come on. Right, it's definitely doing something. I'm bleeding quite heavily, so I'm just going to go and take care of that. And then I'm going to, well, before I go and take care of this boring thing, I'm going to spray a load more stuff down there, because that might be bringing these things back to life. I've put some cloths over it because I filled it full of stuff again. Let's try and turn it over, force that liquid in and around the cylinder walls, and then yeah, I think just keep sort of spinning it over really, and then do another compression test. And if I don't see any improvements after this, the only other thing I could do is maybe take the head off and see if we've got a burnt valve, hole in the valve or something, which is, you know, quite likely to be the cause of no compression on all of them. Maybe, I don't know. Could it just need bringing back to life? Hopefully. Changed my gloves because those other ones were covered in blood. So how are we going to get on now? Start at this end this time, because this one felt like it had the breast. Start this one this time because this one felt like it had the best compressiones. 70, 80. I mean, I'll take it. 30. It's not looking good. 80. That was the one with the bad pogo stick as well, was it? Was it that one? I can't remember now. So long ago, like 5 minutes. Wow, 100. That was on 25 before. Do you remember? That is an improvement of 75%. Is that right? Is that how that works? I don't know. Right, it's on 50 and it's getting better. Right, this front one was at 0. What can we expect out of this one? I've put the top cover back on the engine and I've put the spark plugs back in, only sort of hand tight. And the reason for why I've done that is it's going to be sort of 4 days before I can get down to Rimmers to pick up a load of parts for this thing. So I can't really do anything more. I've filled those bores with a whole can of Plus gas, which, you know, really is brilliant for sort of bringing engines back to life. I could see those cylinders starting to come back to life. You know, fingers crossed they might do more. My plan is now, though, to get this thing outside, and because the Focus did so well underneath with the pressure washer, I'm going to go to town on this thing with a pressure washer just for the rest of this day, clean it right up, make it a lot easier to work on, and then, you know, tomorrow or the day after or whatever, I'll pull it back in and we'll do another compression test and we'll see if it's okay. Okay, please don't crash into the wall. Okay. Yeah. Whoa. The handbrake kind of worked. I just want to concentrate my efforts on this section here, because this is where I'm going to be working, and it is covered in lots and lots of, well, I mean, look at that chap there, you know, loads of these fellas. So I just want to sort of clean this up and underneath the bonnet, and just sort of as much as I can, because this is where I'm going to be working. I'm not going to clean the rest of the car yet. Look how nice that interior is. Can you see that? Oh, God, it's a really nice car, this. I hope it's fairly, you know, solid underneath, like. And then when I get this back inside and sort of give it a you know, another compression test, hopefully, you know, we might be a little bit better. I can go and get some parts, we can see if we can get this thing running. If we can get it running, I'm going to go to town on it and just, you know, do it a nice job and sort of get this thing looking very oily ragged and ragged down the road. A million times better. I'm going to be able to get to everything much easier and work on everything a little bit nicer, whatever this thing is going to need. And you know, I always sort of bang on about wax oil, don't I? Well, all this here, down here, and it's on the chassis and all that sort of stuff, is wax oil. These things usually rot to pieces for fun. Holes, massive ones everywhere. This, it's all been wax oiled. You can tell because the way things is running off it as well, and the colour of the stuff that was coming off it. So yeah, I mean, it's still a bit rusty, you know, a bit crusty in places, but I mean, it's one of the much better ones I've ever seen, really, of a Triumph. It's Triumph, almost. A couple of days later, getting the disco ready to go to Rimmers. TGB detailing just working his magic. It's got to look nice, hasn't it, you know? It's got to be nice. This thing... Oh, we've got a bit of a result. I bought a new compression tester this morning as well, because the other one was, there was no glass on it. It was a bit annoying. Anyway, we've got a really good compression. We want your sort of 140s there, 110, 120, 130s. So super pleased with that. I've done it across all of the cylinders. So these were all, I imagine they're 130s, not 140s, now that I've actually read it properly. This one was a little bit low, it was 30 though, and it's come up to 100, so I think it's going to come up all the way. But yeah, really pleased with that. So we are ready to rock and roll, essentially. Now, I haven't got any parts, I haven't got any bits at all for this thing. So there's not a lot I can do. What I'm going to maybe get stuck into is, with Mark's help, getting the interior done, maybe doing some other little bits. Maybe we'll pull the wheels off. We'll have a bit of look, you know, little look at the underneath of the car, brakes and stuff. And then, yeah, I'll go and get a big box of stuff tomorrow. I just wanted to have a little look at these carburetors, these Strombergs, that work in a very similar way to SUs. There's like a piston in there. Which is all very nice, and they seem, you know, this one at least seems to be working fine. It is, though, absolutely done in. The passage of time has not been kind. Really rough. Don't know if you can see in there, but it is just that. That's your air filter So you'd be sucking all that into the engine, which is nicht cool. Yeah, that one's not much better at all either, is it? A million pieces, so they're pretty spent. Again though, that feels all nice in there. Everything's free as well. I sprayed loads of stuff on it and it all feels really, really good, carbs wise. The only concern is I did just touch the brake pedal and the clutch pedal and they are completely solid. But they're only here, so they're quite an easy job to change. And hopefully I can pick a couple of brand newies up. I mean, it lifted it up without it splitting in half, so that's a good start, isn't it? You know, wheels wise, I don't know if you can hear that. But, you know, it's moving, which is good. Brake disc is going to be very rusty. I've sit him so long. That one's a bit freer. Yeah, okay, not bad. Just looking at these arches as well, and I mean, just a bit mucky in it, but it's all nice. No holes. Yeah, bit of a tuck there, you know. Whoops. I mean, I'm just looking at the sort of condition of things, and I mean, it could be worse. Like, look how, you know, everything. That Focus was worse than this. You know, plenty of nice oily bits on the bottom of that. Looks all good. What does the radiator look like? I mean, it's there, isn't it? All the front chassis, all the bits again, just everything looks like it's going to do a job. The hard brake lines look decent. Yeah. Bit of a sort of sustained 70 mile an hour is going to clean those up really nicely. What about this chassoir? You know, it's just a bit of flaky, which we'll get the pressure washer on, I think. We'll do the pressure washer thing underneath here as well at some point, but I mean, you know, can't ask for much better than that really, can you? Floor's gone a little bit there, but that's fine, you don't need that anyway. What's all this oil coming from? That's from the gearbox. Yeah, that's fine. That's good, at least it's got oil because it's leaking oil. Tiny little exhaust. Back box is a little bit shot, but still there and it's still attached. That's fine. Little hole up there, but the floor and everything's good. I mean, yeah, really nice. I think it's to come up so well with a proper pressure washer underneath. Get it up in the air and get all the bits off it. Chassis-wise, again, it's just pretty tidy, isn't it? You can tell why it's pretty tidy as well. You don't need me to tell you this, do you? Because we've been over this several times. But the chassis and the floor and everything is so good on this car because it's been covered in wax oil. That is wax oil. You know, this is what has been on it for donkey's years and has saved it. Don't know if it's had something there. Yeah, I think it has. Long time ago. But yeah. It's just in better nick than it otherwise would be. I'd hazard a guess at. You know, this is a real get back on the road car. This, I think, but we'll definitely give it a big clean up underneath. But yeah, I mean, just look at it. It's absolutely fine, isn't it? More items for the auto jumble. Some nice bits in there. It's all very cool. Look at all this grease. Oh no, it's pot noodle tomato sauce. Quite a few sachets of it. I wonder if that's still good. Can we eat that? How much to eat it on camera? I'm just getting ready by emptying the interior out and sort of pushing carpets back and stuff because TGB is going to jump in here and help me sort of get it all back to spec and looking as nice as we possibly can inside, which would be great, wouldn't it? Oh, what's that? Oh, wow. Oh, look at that. Oh, how cute. Lovely sort of, look at, where are they there? See the mountains in the background and the pier. Ah, lovely family photo in the Triumph. That's amazing. Wish I could find the previous owner of this and sort of show him it coming back on the road. That'd be really, really cool, but that's lovely. Keep that with the car, I think. It's the next day. I'm on the road and roughly 45 minutes away from getting rimmed, which, I mean, going to Rimmers, sorry, to get these parts, which is really exciting, isn't it? Yeah, just sort of gone past Nottingham and on my way to Lincoln, I think. So yeah, about a three-ish hour drive. It's okay though, it's okay. Discovery's been an absolute dream. It's nice to drive this car as an actual car instead of just using it as a blooming tow truck all the time. Another reason I'm using this as well, apart from the fact that Rimmers do tons of Land Rover stuff, so I wanted to sort of have a look at some of that while I was there as well, but that's not the only reason that I'm driving the Land Rover. The main reason is the Passat's gone. The Passat, if you've been watching this channel for a while, the Passat is, well, it's not no more. I know very well where it's gone. My mum's got it. So my mum, because it's an automatic, I've given it to my mum because her seeing it was due another MOT, and yeah, it needed all sorts of stuff doing to it. So I was just like, look, Passat's MOT till next April, you have that, you know, enjoy it. So there you go. So I am without a Passat once again. So I have to buy another one soon, right? Or just use the Discovery, which is what it is there for, and what I pay, like, I don't know, £600 a year tax for or something. I don't know. It's pretty painful anyway. Just arrived at Rimmer's, and yeah, lots of German cars in the car park. Land Rover Triumph Rover ST1. Amazing parts for Jaguar vehicles. Rover MG. This is the place. Absolutely love it. And you can tell that this is a place as well because of these hieroglyphics on the floor there. That is what happens when you sell parts for British cars, because British cars will come, park there and leave their mark. Oh wow, look at these things. Right, okay. Let's say hello. I've just sort of booked myself in. Andy's going to come and meet us, but first, just look at some of these cars. These are examples of things that we need to do on the channel. Like this TR7. That's an immaculate one. Look at the interior of it, it's gorgeous. Ah, it's like brand new. What's the miles on this? 18,000 miles. Oh, so good. And an MGTF as well. We're definitely going to do one of these. I've had a couple of these. They're very cool cars. We're going to get amongst one at some point, definitely. We also need to do every one of those at some point. The Spitfire, but we've already done a Spitfire, haven't we? So we don't need to do another one of those. That one is very nice though. I think this one might be a fake one though, because look at these panel gaps, they're too good. They were never like that, surely. TR6 body shell, you could buy one of these, save you doing all that welding. Amazing. Dead smart. Really cool. Look at this. Proper car. This is again, this is like a must do. We have to get one. I've just got to find the right one, which this one probably is as well, because I can see a manual gearbox there, and that's what we want. I want a manual gearbox and I want a V8. If we're going to do an ST1, we've got to do it properly. That one is absolutely gorgeous. Oh, it's a Vitesse. Look at that. Wow. I was talking to someone the other day about the Vitesse name, and obviously it's used quite a few times on Rovers, and apparently this ST1, Rover Vitesse. How good, how good. And we're doing a Vitesse. I love that, I love the colour, it's amazing. Rangy, again, we have to do one of those. Ah, look at this Land Rover Discovery here. They'll just be probably just doing a headlight bulb or something. That's why all this bit's off. That is so awesome. Well, they'll be welding a new floor in it. They're doing some welding, that's what it is. Oh, wow. This is so cool. Look at it. Kind of looks like it drive as well, I think. The engine's all intact, isn't it? Apart from that bit of the radiator. Wow. And a Freelander. Oh my god. So good. They're always really interesting, these Freelanders, because if you ever open the bonnet on like the 1.8, which I did so many times, the engine was really low down, because it was like quite a lowly slung sort of chassis and stuff on these, and the engine was really far down, so to do any work on it was quite difficult. Unless you just cut a big hole in it. Look at it, it's amazing. This is absolutely awesome, isn't it? So good. We've got to do one of these. We have to. Have to. I love them. I've had a couple and I won't mind another. Preferably with one of those in. Look at it in there, all these parts. So good. ST1 2000 Dolomite Vitesse Herald GT6 Spitfire. God, so cool. I like it. Probably quite interesting to mention as well that it's not just like these really old things that they do loads of parts for modern stuff. I really like the look of the TR7s. I know they're not sort of everybody's cup of tea. People like the more sort of older style things, but I do like a TR7. I think the wedge shape is really cool. Look at this, just so as I was waiting, look at all these magazines, all these things, and look at this. That's my car. Look good outside. Parts, accessories, catalogue, everything. My disco. Get new wheels for it. Wow. Winch. Well, that's air compressor, isn't it? All the service bits. Amazing, really good. I'll take one of those. SD1 catalogue.
Right, so ignore the back ordered items. Yep. You've got it all. Don't trust me to warehouse back order.
When I did the Spitfire, I just online got all the bits from members for that, like the roof, the hood. Bonsoir, it's me, voiceover Ben. Just a quick customer service announcement. Unfortunately, Rimmers didn't clear the factory sort of tour bit of this video in time. Really annoying, but I've still got it and they are still going to do it. It's just they haven't had time to do it. So it's not going to be in this video, but it's going to be in hopefully the next part of this epic Triumph Vitesse Resurrection coming out next Friday. You'll get to see the rest of the Rimmers tour, which will be really, really cool. Anyway, back to the video, back to the workshop. Let's get stuck back into the Triumph. It's a few days later and I'm back from the Rimmers. Should we have a look what was in the box? Check out all of this sweet gear. Real nice oil, electricity pipes, cylinders, these things, everything. Look at this, incredible. Start solenoid, oil filter. I know we already had one of those, but still, that one's a new one. Look at all these rubber hoses to replace all these things. Like, look at this here. Look at that. It's going to be so much better. Look at all the cracks and the sadness, and it's all just, it's been there for a million years. But where to start? I think the most sensible option is to try and see if we can make this thing run. That would be cool, wouldn't it? I really enjoyed that sort of behind the scenes look inside Rimmer Brothers. I thought it was really cool, and it's so interesting to sort of see how things work, and you know, the why is that hot? No, it's not hot. The sort of merger between them and the American company with Moss, and you know, all this sort of stuff is really good. Honestly, it is good news, and I'm interested to see what comes of it in terms of car parts, because I buy car parts for all different cars all the time, and it can be a ball ache. I've got this little cherub here, this condenser, which goes there, and I've got this set of points there, a bit easier to see. What I have noticed though, in my travels around this engine bay, the couple of wires that go to the coil, right? So you've got this one here, which is your feed, goes in, and then from this side of the coil, the minus side, the low tension circuit, I don't know words like that. This cable snapped and it goes from there to there, so I'm just going to go over and just quickly make another cable that isn't as snapped as this one. There you go, there's your old sad worn points. These are a little bit different. I've got to connect this to this, which is a little bit of a faff. Essentially take that nut off, swap it over with that nut, and put this little cable bit onto there, and then they should be pretty much the same with the condenser as well. Just turning the engine over now to get it onto the lobed bits of the points. Oh, so everything you can see, so that's the highest bit now. So that's where we find our gap. Where's my feeler gauges and the book? Contact breaker gap 0.015. of what? I'm not sure, but it's 0.015, which is great. So I've just got to get that to where it's 0.015-ish, and then tighten it, and that's it. That's the points. What's 0.015 of an inch in millimeters?
There are 25.4 millimeters in 1 inch. To convert 0.015 inches to millimeters, we multiply 0.015 by 25.4. 0.015 inches asterisk 25.4 millimeters inch equals 0.381 millimeters.
Nice.
Therefore,
Shut up. Did it say 0.38? Yeah, 0.38. So, see if we've got a... There's a 0.4 right there. That'll do, won't it? 0.38, 0.4. Hair off a gnat's testicle sac. Width difference. So I'm going to get that in there, tighten it up. Takes a little, it's a bit fiddly. You've got to sort of go backwards and forwards a couple of times. Make sure that it's not pinching that too much. Like that feels really nice. Oh, it's moved again. So can I clamp it there? That looks, visually, that looks too big to me. So that is pinching them together. And if I just nip that up, now hopefully, got my perfect gap there. Let me just tighten this bit up because I had to loosen that. And that should be a nice points gap. And if I turn the engine over again, hopefully I'm not in your way, you can see when it goes to the engine's really tight now all of a sudden. Not the spark plugs are in. As it comes off, it closes the gap, which is perfect. That's what we want. Got to get a couple of spade connectors on this really swanky Lucas Classic coil, but they give you some in the box, which is nice. Very duty, look at all that, all these gubbins. Have I mentioned these before? Tasty Classics mugs. We've only just had them done though, but they are really good and they keep your brew nice and hot. And they're big, so you can put lots of brew in the mug, which is important. So you don't have to keep getting up and making one, you know what I mean? And winter's coming and that's brew season for me. Right, I need to go and tighten these bits down. That one's not going to fit, is it? Surely that'd be too easy. No. Okay. That on there with a new little connection. Lovely, 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 lovely. Now I'm just going to try and get to that bolt. So that's all done, and we've got nice new wires and connections on everything, so that should be quite good. HT leads now, I think. Fuel pump is, I mean, I don't know, kind of feels all right. I don't know, the tank's going to be dry as a bone and full of rust and stuff, but I guess we'll just, that's a flexible line there, so I can quite easily just hook an external tank up to that bit there just to try and get it going. So that's not a problem. I say that's not a problem, no doubt it's going to be a massive problem. Cylinder firing order 6-cylinder is 153624. So what I think that means is that when number 1 cylinder is at top dead centre, which is when it's dead high up in the cylinder, the piston, when it's dead high up, that is when number 1 should be sparking. So your HT lead, your rotor arm will be pointing to number 1, and that one is, you need to attach your HT lead from number 1 to number 1 spark plug, and the rotation of the distributor, the next one in line, needs to go to number 5. Does that make sense? We'll try it and we'll see if it works. I have just noticed that the water pump appears to be seized, which is a bit annoying. I'm just going to cut this belt off because I've got another one of those. But yeah, dynamo feels decent, but the water pump is absolutely solid. Okay. Why is it always water pumps? Right, probably because they've got water in and they rust. So we might have to get one of those, but we can run it without that anyway, just to sort of see if it goes, and then I'll source one. I think that's pretty much it. Our rotor armour is pointing up here. To that one. So, I can actually see the top of the piston there. That's really handy, so I can make sure it's definitely there. Oh wow, so easy. So it shows you the direction of travel on there. So it'd be 153624. Bit of a spaghetti junction. I've probably got some clips somewhere I can neaten these up with. But it's all in, and I think electronics wise that's pretty much it. Batteries connected, electrics are in. I've also wired up the starter solenoid and nothing's on fire, so that's, you know, can only be a good thing. We need fuel, and then we press a button or do something. I think I don't know if the key is, does the key even work? Where is the key? There it is. We're going to get lights now. No, I wonder if this battery is dead or alive. Nothing worked. You're going to love this. Put it on the wrong way around. That's the battery side, and I've put all the power feed from the battery on the other side. That's supposed to go to the start motor and not have anything on it. Okay, take it off, swap it over. It just made sense to go like that because of how long the wires were. They just seemed to fit there, but I'm going to have to flip it over now. Anyway, whatever. Oh wow. We have lights, ignition, oil. This is exciting. I'm excited. I can't tell if those lights work. Do we dare twist the key? It doesn't twist though. The key just stops there. It's not like a push start or anything, is it? I don't know. Does the choke cable work? Okay, that's solid. Wipers. Indicators. Okay, so some stuff doesn't work. That's fine. That's okay. Ignition is there though. Does that mean we've got power to the coil? 12.7. Other side, 12.7. To the distributor, 12.7. So we might stand a chance actually getting a spark. So I was just having a look at where the fuel pipe goes, and it has corroded and snapped there, which is kind of handy really, because what I can now do is connect an external fuel supply to that, or just take it down here, connect an external fuel supply to that, and we can fill these bad boys up with petrol. Fuel pipe is connected. We now need to switch the sort of low pressure fuel pump on and just watch all of these bits for leaks. So you keep your eye on those, because I'm not going to be able to see them from over here, am I? So where's the machine? Are we ready? Oh, I saw something happen so soon. Can you see any fuel dripping anywhere? I can't. Should we light this fire? Probably a poor choice of words. Okay, what can we do apart from give it a go? Right, here we go. interesting. Yeah. Getting a really nice spark. Oh, that spanner gets hot, doesn't it, when you stick all those bolts through it. Oh, that did make a noise, a different noise. Ooh. Give the start motor a rest. I just want to check a couple of things like timing and stuff, but I am seeing some little bits of puh come out there, and it's not, you know, it's not going to fire up straight away. It's been sat there for 40 odd years. It's going to take a bit of cranking. I think I had the HT leads 180 degrees out, so number one wasn't there, it was there, because that piston is at the top of its cylinder twice per sort of power cycle. If that's right, I'd be surprised if it is, because I haven't really got a clue what I'm doing, but let's give it a go. Ow, that's red hot, weirdly. Oh, come on! Did you hear that? I heard that. Come on, you beauty, you old thing! You boat anchor! Come on! Come on! You want to live, I can smell your life. Don't know what to do with the choke, you know what I mean? Come on. Oh, come on. It definitely barked off, didn't it? I think I might have flooded it, so I'm just going to leave it 5 minutes. The start motor's getting hot as well, so just leave it for 5 minutes and I'm going to come back to it. It wants to go. Almost certain of it. Wonder if these strummies are injecting fuel properly. Come on. Stay running, come on, stay running. I didn't really want to play with the timing, partly because of this bolt here, which is shaped more like that than like that. So I'm going to have a little go at just trying to take some tension off it so I can spin this round. I can't get much of a change using this. So let's give that a go and see if that makes any difference. I want to sort of bring it this way a tiny bit. Oh, come on. I have got fuel pressure there. Whoa. Other way. It goes and it stops. I think that's really sort of lack of compression. I can hear it. It's like, you know, that's red hot. My key. there's moisture and stuff on these, but it's not petrol. It's oil. I don't know if potentially, can I like breathe fire with this? Can I put it in my mouth? Ah, my glove. I don't know if potentially there is all the stuff that I put into the cylinders to. I wonder if the oil level's too high and it's spitting stuff out, you know. One of the things I'm thinking is all the oil and crap that was in the cylinders from when we were just trying to get some compression back is essentially wetting the plugs so they can't spark and they're not going to blow up, which is a little bit frustrating. Because when it's firing, it's just losing that spark and not able to carry on, you know. It's just firing for like a couple of seconds and then stopping immediately. The bowls for these are right on the bottom as well, so it's not like I can easily access them to see what's going on. Trying to put brake cleaner in there as well, but you can't just shoot straight in because of the annoying sort of bowl things here. You can't shoot straight in, I need 3 hands. Makes such an annoying noise. That pump does my head in. Anyway, I've got a little gravity bottle, but could do with the pressure. I don't know, maybe. It's really annoying though, isn't it? What I'm thinking of doing is just pulling all the plugs now while it's just having another little cool down, and seeing what they all look like, just giving them a clean, putting them back in. Go from there. Oh, it's so close, it wants to live. And it goes, it just disappears. Just having a look inside the carbs to sort of make sure fuel is going where it's supposed to, and the fuel's a horrible colour. I've just done a little compression test on one cylinder and we're well down. I wouldn't even say that was enough to run, which is probably why it's not running. Let's try another one. Pretty much exactly the same. One last try without the fuel connected. Don't know why, there's nothing in that. That ran for longer than it's ever ran before. Interesting. What is going on? Right, I've got a couple of theories. That fuel was out of that Rover 25 and it circulated through the system a few times. It ran on the Rover 25, but it's not great fuel. It doesn't smell very good. I've got a can. I'm going to get some fresh fuel in the morning. I'm then going to use this gravity sort of tank just to fill the carbs up. One of the carbs, after I started checking everything, has started leaking, so that's good news, isn't it? I don't think that's enough compression for it to run. You should do compression checks, you know, with all the spark plugs out and stuff, and it doesn't really matter that much. Not going to make that much difference. But yeah, not ideal. So I don't know, leave it overnight. It's done a bit of work. It's had a lot of oil pumped around it. You know, maybe by the morning we might have freed some stuff up and it'll have cooled down again. In the morning, I'll hook this fuel up and we'll just try again. See what happens. Bonjour, je m'appelle Ben avec fucked Triumph. This morning I've put some fuel in this gravity fed fuel thing. The reason for why I've done that is that I can monitor if this thing is actually sucking the fuel into the engine. Because these are what they call side draft carbs, which means that the draft comes in from the side, the wind, the air, the fuel mixture comes in from the side. It's difficult to see fuel actually going in. A little bit annoying. Easier when the carbs are on top, you can just pour it in. Dead straightforward. That's why all the Americans get the cars going so quickly, because they can just pour the fuel in. These, slightly tougher. I've also poured some oil into my dash pots. So these are, the pistons are working all nice. Everything's good. I'm hoping that now everything's cooled down, we might stand a chance of getting this thing going. There's nothing else for it. Let's press the button. Where's my key? There it is. Just nothing. Why nothing? Oh, ignition on, for fuck's sake. It's not going to run if there's no spark, is it? Bloody hell. It's going to be flooded now as well, for fuck. Here. Oh. I'm just speechless, absolutely speechless. It is ticking over so well. I'm going to have to shut it off in a second though, because there's no water going around it, but listen. I think yesterday, I think everything just needed to cool down. The compression wasn't there. It just wasn't able to sort of keep going once it fired. It just didn't have the power to carry on. But once everything had cooled down overnight, and with the fresh fuel as well, with the brand new fuel, maybe that made a difference. The other fuel did work, but maybe not enough to, it's like a perfect storm. Lack of compression, crap fuel, you know, all that stuff, and then, you know, with the nice fuel now, she's singing, and she sounds amazing. Tappets are a bit noisy, but whatever. Oh, right. The work can start now. How's your day started? Mine started pretty good. So what have we done so far? Well, the car's clean, which is a big thing. It runs, which is another big thing, considering it didn't have any compression. And it doesn't just run, it sounds sweet as a nut. I'm really, really pleased with that. But that's it. We haven't really done anything else. Fix that window. Well, I didn't even fix it, I just chopped it up. There's a lot more to do on this car, right? I don't know if it moves under its own steam, but I can tell you now, well, it won't, because there's three reasons down there why it won't. The fuel tank, I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about the fuel pump. It's probably dry as a bone. I've got some fuel there, we could pour that in and see if the fuel pump works. The ignition switch just doesn't work, doesn't turn the engine over. It's only got 4 wires on it, might be pretty straightforward. Why doesn't it work then? Having an ignition inside, or I could just attach a couple of bits of wire and touch them together maybe, I don't know. What else? Lights, do the indicators work? Nope, don't need those, I only got arms. Wipers, they don't work either. Bodywork, could definitely do with a bit of MOT in a can in places before we think about taking it on the open road. And when you are out on the open road, I'm probably going to need tyres and brakes. I've got some brake stuff over there, and the guy can come and do the tyres. I need to give him a call now and get it booked in. Maybe could do those tomorrow. Also, water around the engine. Haven't really got any of that. I need a water pump, and thankfully I've got a load of hoses there, so we get swapping those, get the water pump off, see if I can get a replacement overnighted from Rimmers. Okay, I mean, it would be nice to try and get this on the ramp, but the problem I've got is that these 3 pedals here, well, there's one of them, and I'll let you into a little secret, it shouldn't look like that. So this is no good, I can't use that. That's the accelerator cable there, and yeah, it's not attached at the other end either, so I could potentially do with a new one of those. The brake is completely stuck solid, the clutch is completely stuck solid. So yeah, I don't want to push them any harder because I'll snap the pedals, but they are completely stuck solid. Thankfully I've got a couple of master cylinders over there, so maybe that's what we should do first. We should swap those master cylinders, see if I can get a clutch. If I can get a clutch, at least we can try the gears and see if I can move it. What do you reckon the chances are of any of this coming apart? Now I can use copious amounts of heat on these if I need to. Yeah, it's moving, it's moving. I knew it would. This is gonna be easy. Oh yeah, movement, yes, look at that. Heat saves the day once again. Oh, fantastic news. Because these brake pipes are in really good nick, so I don't want to, and clutch pipes, so I don't want to have to change them if I don't need to, you know. Ow, hot, ow, hot, ow, hot, ow, hot, ow, hot. Oh, it's crusty and old. Oh, Jesus. Look at that. Oh, full of age and dust and... wow. Definitely a candidate for being replaced, I would have said. But there you go. That's why it didn't work. And that's why it was probably never going to work. And that's what it would look like if you park it up for 40 years. There's not really much you can do about that. Anyway, there you go. Right, it's all in, it's connected up. Does the pedal pedal? does, but it's a bit solid. Why is it solid? Right, I'm going to go and find the bleed nipple for the clutch and open it. See you later. To make one's life substantially easier, I've decided to pop the old Vitesse on the ramp because I've got to get to the slave cylinder, which I think is seized as well. Great news. But I'll take the bleed nipple off and see what happens. I just thought it'd be interesting to show you this though. All that sort of leakage, yeah, got that, but look at this. Straight out the exhaust. Wowee. Do you reckon all that was inside the cylinders and it got blown out? Or do you reckon it was in the exhaust? Fabulous stuff, really cool. I did just sort of poo my bum for a moment because I couldn't immediately see the slave cylinder. And yeah, I still can't. I did check the book of words, and thankfully it's not in the gearbox, which I was worried about. I thought, oh my god, are we going to have to be taking gearboxes and stuff out of this car? Which doesn't look like it'd be, well, particularly enjoyable. But there we go. So apparently the book said it's up there somewhere. So let's get it down again. Can you see it? Can you see where it is? Let me point to the bleed nipple. Jesus Christ. It's there. That's the bleed nipple-ish. That's the slave cylinder there. I don't know. I can barely get one finger in there, so great. I mean, what a nightmare. I need to replace these pipes. I've got replacements for these pipes because they're knackered, so I'm going to take these off to make access a little bit better, and then we'll see if we can crack the bleed nipple, and hopefully that slave cylinder will come back to life, because if it doesn't, we've got problems. They're off, and that was very difficult, and I don't think they would have got us, you know, sort of too far down the road. Very, very dry rotted and perished and just sad. Cool, okay. Just got my bleeder hooked up, managed to undo the bleed nipple without setting anything on fire. Possibly the easiest thing to bleed ever. You sort of just do that until, oh, you need to fill that up with brake fluid. Come on, give me, oh, come on. Oh, please, God. If that slave cylinder works, if I don't have to replace that slave cylinder, I'll be super pleased because it's hidden behind the car. So, need to test it. Right, keep your eye on these really weird angled rear wheels. See if we can make them spin. Okay, wheels, no spin. I can hear the clutch. Come on, baby. I think that might be reversed, but it's the same as a Spitfire. First. The other wheel is spinning, this one not so much. I think it's on the floor now. Because I'm sat in it. Clutch is working though. Come on! Oh yeah. Ramp must have gone down a bit. Dangerous. Come on! Oh, right, what now? Have you got any idea? Give us a clue. What's next in the book? What's on page 12? Okay, it's midday. These are all the parts I've got left. Oil, exhaust, all the rubber pipes, the brake master cylinder, the brake hoses front and rear, and the wiper blades, oil, filter, fan belt. So looking at these now, there's a couple of things that I could do on the ramp. The oil change, be much easier on the ramp. The exhaust, be much easier on the ramp, so I'd get those done first. And then if I do the rest of the stuff, I'm also going to know if I need things like any wheel cylinders or brake calipers, anything like that. You know, if we try and get the brakes working with all these bits. I need to order loads more stuff. I've got to order an accelerator cable. Thankfully, oh no, that's MOT in a can. But I do have a throttle pedal on its way. I'm just waiting for that to arrive. A couple of other bits as well. But I'm going to have to do another rimmers order. Water pump being one thing. Yeah, throttle cable and just ignition switch, a few other little bits. So if I carry on doing this, start making my list of what I need and I get those ordered. Okay then, so I've got a fair bit to crack on with. Now all these extra parts that I'm going to buy, I have to pay for them. Shock, I know. But I only got all that stuff from Rimmers for free. I need to go and at this next big order, it's going to be a few £100 worth of stuff, I'm going to have to pay for. Now, if it wasn't for the Patreons that patronage this channel, I wouldn't be able to afford to do stuff like this. I could just get the car running, drive it, you know, maybe we'll have brakes, maybe we won't. I won't be able to run it for long, so, you know, no water pump or anything. But with the Patreons, I can afford to go out and buy the parts I need to make this car work well, hopefully, you know, fingers crossed. So, massive thank you to all of them. And while I'm doing this, we'll cue the music. And for a change, I'm going to go through every current Patreon member. And we'll say thanks to them all. So, right then, get the spanners out, cue the music. behind Ben and I've got the horn over this Triumph Vitesse. The engine bay looks so good. Still got one more pipe to put on, but before I put it on, I wanted to flush the radiator out because there was loads of crap in it. When I was washing the sort of bottle out, the overflow bottle, it was cruddy in a big way. Everything went really well, apart from snapping one of the bleed nipples on the brakes. I've done the brake master cylinder, but yeah, I'm just gonna have to cross that bridge when I come to it. But for now, I want to put some more fuel in there. I even want to put some fuel in the fuel tank and see if the fuel pump works. What else should we do? Anything else? Should we try and drive it outside and flush all the coolant? Oh yeah, the fan belt. The fan belt is a little bit too small, a bit annoying. At the moment, it's just wrapped around the bottom pulley, not actually where it's supposed to be. I don't know if you can see there. It's probably going to catch on the fan, but I just want to sort of see if it does or if it doesn't, because I'd love to know. I freed the water pump up by smashing it with a hammer, and I would love to know if it works without leaking before I order parts, including a new fan belt. Really annoying. I can't get in the fuel tank because they need a key for this. It's not the key for the car. Got no other keys with it, so I'm going to have to end up drilling that out. Anyway, doesn't that paintwork look shiny there on the video? Incredible result. Don't stall it, whatever you do. God, it runs well. Started on the button then. Ah, so many cuts. So the amazing news is the fan belt is it's just held on the bottom pulley, and yet it's not fouling anything. That's amazing. Shit. We need fuel. Hopefully the fuel's going in. What were we checking for? Oh yeah, we need to get outside. Let's get outside. I forget, I've not got accelerator. Just going on idle. I tried to use the show, but not good. I don't want to give myself too much of a pat on the back. Maybe I do. This is just driven out there for the first time in 40 years. And the engine, I mean, I can hardly tell that it's on. It's had its oil change, everything. It's the thing's like brand new. Will it rev up? Listen to that! This is so sweet, so sweet. Can't believe that fan belt's actually working like it is. That's amazing. Annoyed that I can't see if the fuel pump's going to work, so I can't go to the fuel tank, but we'll do that soon. Let's get the hose attached to this and we'll make some water go around it, see if that doesn't stop it in its tracks. Trying to fill the radiator and make it all pour out the bottom hose. Do you remember when that subscriber gave me all these radiator caps? Well, I'm using one. Amazing. Right, that's coming out the radiator crystal clear now. live pipe install while the engine's running. It's fine. See if that works. The eagle-eyed amongst you as well may have noticed I didn't swap that tiny little rubber pipe there because, well, I mean, it was really hard, so I didn't do it. Right, let's fill this up. Sorry about that, that doesn't always happen. Water's there, it's not really moving or doing anything, but it's okay. The thermostat probably hasn't opened yet, it's still quite cool. What else? I'll put the heaters on in the car, just to help things circulate. Look at the rev counter, it's working. Ignition light's on, which means that it's not charging, but I think you might have to rev it to get it to go off. No, ignition light's still on, okay. Sorry. Right, which one's heat? That's lights. Are they working yet? Nope. Don't know what that does, but that's the heater. Which is actually working. Oh my god, it's warm as well. Warm to the point of actually being hot. That's so cool. I've got a big bit of cleaning up to do. It's a real state of affairs, isn't it? I'm not getting any top hose action and the radiator's cold. So I'm going to just pull the thermostat. Yeah, it doesn't want to play ball. It should have opened by now, and it isn't, and it's under a lot of pressure, as you can tell by all the steam flying everywhere. But if you're not as experienced as me, you'd probably, you know, be really worried about that. Wait, stop it. Weird. There's nothing even left of the thermostat, so it should have been letting water through quite easily. Everything has got flow through it. Okay, I mean, that's probably as flushed as it's going to get. There's going to be no gasket on there now. Oh, I wonder if I might have one. I don't believe it. I've got absolutely no idea what that was off. I think it's off something like new and modern, but it fits. What are the chances? That's crazy. Right, let me just clean all that off, and then I'm just going to put it all back together without a thermostat, and we'll just run it without a thermostat, because, yeah, whatevs, you know. Just never throw anything away. How handy is that? Just so good. Right, I'm going to let this heat up again. Everything should be circulating. I'm just testing. I need to know if the water pump works. I need to know if anything else works. Is the car going to overheat? Is it fine? Does the radiator get hot? Is the radiator leaking?
I just need to know.
Because tonight I'm going to be doing my ordering. Oh, this is great. Is there anything better than like messing about with cars in a, you know, late August evening? No, there isn't. So good. I'm going to get a drill on that petrol cap just while I'm waiting for this thing to heat up. Do you remember that pipe I said I couldn't be bothered changing because it was really hard? It's just blown. I mean, I was hoping it would last a bit longer than that, but I'm glad it's done that here and not anywhere else. Everything's in the way. I'm now going to replace all these flexies because they're all sad and no doubt will have all sort of, you know, gone bad inside. So I'm going to get these replaced. And I'm doing it on the front and the back, which is going to take a bit of time. So I'm just going to sort of get the wheels off this thing, get that going, and then I've got someone coming to help me bleed the brakes later on. And then I'll be able to see if things like the calipers and the rear cylinders, if they work. So look, we are rapidly running out of time with this video, but I spent a bit of time yesterday just getting this pipe fitted. You can see this one down here, which led to its own set of problems. The metal pipe that it attaches to, which is that one there, has now split because it moved and it was rusty, and now that's split, so yay. Rimmers are sending another one of those though, so that's cool. I'll get that fitted when it arrives. The fuel pump works. Insane. Can you believe it? I put a new pipe on it and everything, nice new metal pipe I made up, just all new connections and stuff, and the fuel pump just worked, just came to life. Just how good. And the tank, I think it possibly saved because it was in the boots. I had to drill this out to get in there, which was a little bit of a fuss. But yeah, great, this is how I got that working. Just going to try and get some of these brakes bled, just so I've got something to be able to move it around, because without the brakes, it's, I mean, I haven't got an accelerator either, but I could do with, you know, 2 of the pedals working out of the 3. Okay, down.
Down.
Up.
Up.
Down.
Down.
Up.
Up.
Down.
Down.
Up.
Up.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't think there's any more air coming out of that. Nice. Right, jump out if you want, mate. He was a cool guy, wasn't he? So look, I've sort of, I've kind of got a little bit of a pedal, but I'm snapping bleed nipples, and I can't bleed the brakes properly. I've still got a load of other stuff to fit, and then there's just so much more work to do on this car. And I don't know if you've noticed, but we're like over 2.5 hours into this video, and I don't want to cut anything out. And it's all really important that you see what's going on with this car. So we're going to draw the episode to a close, and there'll be the second part of this Triumph Resurrection next Friday night. And you need to watch it, so please hit the subscribe button, because you're not going to want to miss it, because you're going to get a chance to own it, right? The next episode I'm thinking I'm going to raffle this car off, right? To raise money for the Capri Fund, my charity. The Capri Fund. It's expensive. I need turbos. So look, yeah, turbos, 1 turbo. 1 turbo. So look, you can own this thing for 99p. All the details will be in the next episode next Friday. So if you've enjoyed this, you're mad. But if you have enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button, and when you see the video flash up next Friday at 6 o'clock, watch it. See how good you think the car is, how good I've made it, And yeah, you can get a chance to own it. Come down here, see the place, jump in your car and drive it away. All for 99p. So look, it's going to be a lot of fun. I've got a lot of work to do. So I'll see you in a week's time. Bye. Oh God, what am I going to do with the rest of my night? Well, if you want something on in the background, I do a podcast with my friend WYNNE, who is an ex-RAF sort of maintenance pilot or test pilot. He used to fly all the sort of Hawk jets and stuff like that, really cool things, just to make sure that they weren't going to drop out of the sky when he gave them back to the people who used them to shoot the bad guys and things. It's very entertaining. We talk about everything to do with cars and planes and lots of other stuff in between. And just like behind the scenes of things here, what I actually feel about, how I actually feel about some of the cars and stuff that I do. So yeah, it's pretty good. If you would like to watch it, go to the description of this video. The link is there. Click on it, watch it. If it's good, then subscribe to that. It's called the Wheels and Wings Podcast. And yeah, there's quite a few episodes for your entertainment. So give it a go. Give it a go. Give it a try. Bye.
Or an immaculate MG midget with the big, horrible big rubber bumpers. And it sold recently £3,500.
That's what I'm talking about.
No.
That's what I've got written
Are you
down
joking?
there. That's what I've got written down there. And a few other examples.
£3,500.
Well, it was actually
£3,262,
£3,262, including fees.
including fees.
Including fees.
I
So
saw-
yeah,
That blue one.
that blue one, amazing. Yeah. So I think that maybe the clip's sort of gone, big of sort of what it was, because it's just like for nothing.
Yeah.
It's for nothing.
And that's a beautiful little classic car.
Beautiful.